Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn and happy almost Halloween. We're so close to one of my favorite holidays of the year, and I'm very excited to celebrate Spoopy Month, or the end of Spoopy Month, with you. So for today, I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of a fan art piece. With me going full-time and trying to do like comic conventions and everything full-time, I'm going to try to add in a few little bits of fan art into what I sell, just because like, now that this is my job, I need to try to make a little more profit. And fan art always does really well, but I always have this policy that I only do fan art of things that I'm really passionate about or that I really like. So today's fan art is probably one of my favorite book series right now, which is the Locked Tomb series, specifically like Gideon the Ninth, Harrow the Ninth, and Nona the Ninth. And we're still waiting on Electo. I'm hoping for Electo news any day now, but you know what? It's fine. She should take her time, make the books for us to enjoy them. But I mean, just a cover. Give us like a cover reveal or something. Just a little snippet would be perfect, but no. We still have to wait very patiently for the next book. For those of you who don't know the series, I'm just going to give you the tagline that they use for the first book. It's like one of the main marketing lines, and it's gay necromancers in space. That's all you need to know. It's a very fun series. I really like the characters. I don't want to reveal too much in case you want to read them. And I'll probably go over more in like the speed paint voiceover. But I love the series. I love the characters. And I actually do a cosplay of Gideon because I have red curly hair. She's got red hair. It just kind of worked. And I also love her as a character. So hell yeah, I'll cosplay as her. But anyway, I specifically was making this one coming up for a queer market, which is actually going to be happening when this video releases. The queer market will be happening tomorrow. So if you're in the Arizona Tempe area, I'm going to be at Brick Road Coffee selling my goods at like a trunk or treat queer market thing that they're doing. So if you want to come say hi, grab some goodies, and I'll have a few limited runs of the prints that we're going to be making in the video today. So anyway, let's jump in and start doing some sketching. I wanted to do a really cool foil print of both of my favorite characters, which are Gideon and Harrow, who are kind of the main characters of the series. And I'm just so excited. So let's jump in and get these started. All right, let's jump into my duo piece, Gideon the Ninth fan art. So I wanted to start out with some initial concepting sketches. So I had this idea of making them almost like playing cards and showing like two phases that the characters go through within the book. So mild spoiler warning, just a heads up. I won't really say the spoilers, but obviously the artwork is going to show slight spoilers. So you have been warned. Anyway, so I wanted the two different faces, like it's almost like a face card, like a king, queen, jack type of thing. But I wanted both of them to be just the different phases of the character. And I thought I would make them, I know face cards aren't like number cards, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to make them like a 9 for the 9th house they are in. So I think I want to do more of these in the future if we like these. Like I would love to do the rest of the crew from book 1. Oh, that'd be so cool. And then show them in the different phases. But I know that's going to take a very long time, and I only had limited time to get these done for the market next weekend. But I love these two characters, and I wanted to start this series out with them for sure. So yeah, that was kind of my idea going into these prints, and I wanted them to kind of face each other so they could be really nice accompanying pieces. So then depending on how you flip them, so you could have like book 1, Gideon and Harrow facing each other, or you can have book 2, 3, Gideon and Harrow facing each other. I thought that'd be really cool. So I wanted them to be like really good pieces that you could hang next to each other. I'm for sure going to be hanging them in my office because I love these. So yeah, with that in mind, I had those rough sketches figured out, and then it was time to go in and start doing more detailing. And so this part was a lot of fun, like trying to figure out what details to bring over from the book. I love the book 3 version of Gideon with the really cool like crown of like golden leaves and like finger bones. I thought it would be really cool. And I was excited to explore her more like military-ish outfit that happens in that book. But then I'm always very partial to book 1 Gideon. So I think that's my, of course, always favorite version of Gideon. But I cannot wait to see what happens in Electo with these characters. Like, I could just gush about this forever. I'm so excited. But yeah, so after the sketch, I went through, I did the line art, added a lot of detailing to try to, give a little bit more life to these outfits and the characters in general. And I was really digging both of them so much. And so I was just really excited to get in and get some coloring done. So for these, I was trying to avoid using straight black for their coloring because I didn't want it to come out too dark on the print. So you're going to see like this purplish, grayish black for both of them because I didn't want it to be too dark, So that's going to be for at least the first book for both of them is in that gray tone. And then I noticed I hit kind of a different, roadblock with the book 3 version of Gideon when I was coloring. I knew that the uniform, per the description, was kind of like white and gold. And later on, I'm a little ahead of it in the speed paint right now, but during the shading phase here, I usually go for like a purple or a red for my shading color, but it worked great with the book 1 Gideon, but then book 3 Gideon, it was a little bit weird. The purple on the white didn't work super well, but later on you'll see I actually made it blue, and I think it worked really well. It's more like, I guess, a teal-ish blue, and I thought that turned out really cool. And then I was like, oh, this will be perfect when I get over to coloring Harrow, because then I can have the different like shading colors reflect what book they're in, or like what phase they're in. So I think it worked out really cool. It helps join the two halves of both the pieces together. And I was so happy. I was like, okay, this works out great. I'm very happy about it. And then I just had to get stuck in and get the rest of the shading done, do the shading, highlights, the whole shebang. And then I wanted to have them be on kind of a neutral background that was a little bit reflective of like, I don't know, I guess it would be like almost like a card background. I didn't want too much detail, but I wanted it to look almost like stone or marble or some kind of like moody, plain gray to black to white background. So then when I do get this printed, the characters will stand out a lot, and then the foil will also look really sick against that darker color. Oh, and this is also when I realized I forgot Gideon's face paint. So I jumped back in and did that really quick before jumping into the background. And then here I start putting in the gold foil for Gideon. I actually, for the halo, the bone that I add is the middle finger, the middle finger bone. I just thought that was so fitting for Gideon. So I did that as the kind of, I guess, filigree on the halo. And then I was also checking there to make sure that nothing was outside the crop lines that I didn't want to accidentally get cropped off. But yeah, so I really love how this foil turned out and the placement of everything. I changed a few things outside of the speed paint just as a heads up, so it might look a little different in the final product. And then with Gideon done, it was time to jump into the Harrow piece. So with Harrow, I was going back and forth on exactly what I wanted her to look like because I've seen so much cool fan art of her. And it's like comparing the book cover to the fan art to like what my internal picture of her was. So I just kind of went for kind of an amalgamation of all of them in my brain. So I wanted the first book for her to be like really decked out in like the full covering robes, just because I've always pictured her as like, it's a very like religious almost robe from how they describe it. And it sounds like she's like very covered, like full hood, full sleeve, like tunic, the whole shebang. And then I wanted to adorn her with so much like bone jewelry. It just felt so fitting for her for that. And I had to give her a cool floating skull because with her being a necromancer, we have to show her manipulating bones. And then for book 2 Harrow, I just wanted to kind of convey, I guess, her emotions and confusion that kind of are wrapped up with book 2 through this expression and pose. And I wanted this one to be similar to the book 2 cover because I think that really matches the outfit that is presented throughout all of book 2. And it's hard because like, I know book 2, I think she still had a lot of her face paint makeup, but I still wanted it to kind of match Gideon's. And I didn't want to, I don't know, make them too different. Because I know Harrow seems to wear her face makeup a lot. Like, through a lot of the books and in a lot of the scenes. It's not always there, but it seems pretty consistent that she wears it pretty religiously, haha, through book 1. And then I feel based off the cover of book 2, she probably wears it quite a bit out and about in book 2. But I'm like, I want it to match the Gideon one. So that's why she doesn't have face paint makeup once I get to coloring. And then I had a lot of fun doing, I don't know what she called it in the book off the top of my head, but like the bone sarcophagus around the sword. I loved that detailing. That was really fun to do. I love drawing weird bones and like kind of creepy monsters. I don't do it super often. Even though I like it, I don't know why I don't do it more. So this was a lot of fun to do that type of detailing on like the sarcophagus type of thing for the sword. And then her cool like chest plate for book 1 Harrow. It was just really fun. And she was a blast to do all this little detailing for. So again, with this one, I wanted to go into the more purple grays, but this one I kind of pushed a little bit more into the darker grays instead of like the purplish, because I feel Gideon's would be like a lighter outfit, but based off of Harrow's description, I'm like, okay, I feel she's in like a darker tonal outfit. But I didn't want it to just be all a solid black blob. So I added a little bit of difference with some more grays and had those darker blacks almost with the hood. And then her face paint makeup was really fun to do because hers is really complicated. So I was going back and forth on like what to put where, because there's, again, I said like there's so much cool fan art and cosplay out there of people really nailing her makeup. So I was kind of comparing some of the cosplayers I've seen with the book cover to try to get a final cool makeup look. So with the detailing done, it was time to jump into doing the shading. So with Harrow, I did end up doing the purple for the book 1, like I said, to match the Gideon one. I think it works well for her in this case on her like white bones and her face makeup. It didn't work as well for book 3 Gideon's like outfit, but I think it works really well for the bones for this one. So it's like, I don't know. It works on different whites compared to, you know, each other. And I had a lot of fun coloring her for this and seeing it slowly come together and get rendered. And then, yeah, book 2 Harrow, I went for those blues and it worked perfectly because her cloak that she has on the cover of book 2 also has those bluish tones. And I'm like, oh, this hit perfectly. And I was so happy with how the bone sword looked. I was just very pleased with the rendering on her specifically for this one. It just turned out really awesome. And then I brought over the foil from the Gideon piece, converted it to Harrow, and her cape's cut off a lot, so I ended up bringing some in front of the cape so you could still see some of the text and it's not all hidden by all the details coming off of Harrow. So here we are with the final pieces. I'm trying to make sure my camera isn't covering as much as possible, but I had a lot of fun doing these. Like, I've been so much in like making my own stuff and like Creature Compendium and Monster Brain that I haven't really done a fan art of a fandom that I like in a very, very long time. So this was so fun to actually be able to explore the characters and combine things of like what I kind of envision them as compared to like the cover of the book and just like, dive into it fully. It was just really, really fun to do. So both the gold and the silver on both of these pieces will be full foil. I don't know if I'm going to sell these online yet. I'll let you all know in my posts on either social media or in the community tab here on YouTube. I don't know how the foil is going to turn out, so I'm doing a limited run, and by the time this video posts, they have arrived. So we will see, and you'll just have to keep an eye out on my socials, and I will show you how good they turned out. But yeah, I had a blast doing both of these fan arts. I love this series so much, and it really makes me want to do even more fan art, like maybe a couple videos here and there of like recreating characters from series I like, or even like monsters from things. I know I did like a whole movie monster march way back in the day where I drew my favorite like movie monsters every week for March. So if you're interested in seeing like maybe mini fan art series, let me know in the comments, because like I wouldn't mind doing a few more things of fan art, because like I don't do them ever anymore. And now that I'm doing this full time, like, I think it would be really fun to have at least a couple days where I can just kind of make what I want to make of like fan pieces for things I love. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by and checking out this video. If you're a fan of the Locked Tomb series, I'd love to hear it down in the comments. And then I want to give a shout out to my patrons. I want to thank you guys for making a lot of this possible. If you guys would like to join my Patreon, I have like a base tier where you can tip what you want to help me out. And then we're rolling out a mail club in November. So the news for that will probably be posted over on Patreon if you want to check it out. But starting November 1st, we're going to have a full mail club where you can get exclusive prints, stickers, sticker sheets, whatever goodies I make that month, basically delivered to you every month. And if you want, you can hit the subscribe button, follow me along on my little art journey of making this my full-time career. If you like monsters, fan art, cool things, comics, all that stuff, I'm going to be making a lot of videos of that on my channel. So I would love if you joined our community. But again, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun making these, and I will see you all next time for another video. Bye, everybody.